Good evening Hoops fans and welcome back to Celts on TV. Celtic are safely through to the next round of the Scottish Cup after a 2-0 win over Auchinleck Talbot, a scoreline that technically does the job, officially looks fine, and still somehow manages to feel about 2 goals short of what actually happened on the pitch. This was one of those nights where Celtic had control from pretty much the opening whistle, dominated possession, dominated territory, dominated the shot count, and yet spent long spells making it look like they were trying to win politely. To be fair to Talbot, they were organised, disciplined, and worked their socks off. They kept their shape, defended deep, and made Celtic earn absolutely everything. But once Celtic settled, this felt for more like a question of how many rather than whether. The goals. The breakthrough finally arrived in the 33rd minute. A low delivery from Luke McCowan caused problems in the box, and Johnny Kenny was in the right place to turn it home from close range. Not spectacular.
Seanville here, into the path. Johnny Kenny, and he reacts.
Not spectacular, but exactly the kind of goal you need on nights like this. After that, Celtic continued to press. Michel-Ange Balikwisha fired over when well placed. Paolo Bernardo had a header that probably deserved more. And a series of half-chances came and went without the scoreline really reflecting the balance of play. Talbot, meanwhile, had a couple of moments on the break that briefly woke up the Celtic defence, nothing sustained, but just enough to remind everyone that cup football doesn't come with guarantees. The second goal, when it finally came, arrived late, but emphatically. Substitute Sebastian Tunekti picked up the ball, drifted inside, and curled a superb finish into the top corner to make it 2-0.
Tunekti cutting on the inside, onto that right boot, into the far corner, and Muir has no chance. Said before, obviously, he enjoyed his performance against Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. He'll certainly enjoy that goal, that's for sure. Martin O'Neill will be
2-0. Game over. Tie settled. Collect the cones. The bigger picture. Manager Martin O'Neill made heavy use of rotation, changing most of the side from midweek and giving minutes to squad and fringe players. Celtic never looked rushed, never looked threatened, and never quite looked like going full throttle either. It was controlled. It was professional. It was efficient. And yes, it probably should have been more. Which, naturally, brings us to the part of the show that never worries about aesthetics. Supercomputer match analysis. Translation. Goals. Auchinleck Talbot 0-2 Celtic. Estimated XG, shot-based. Auchinleck tilde 0.3. Celtic tilde 2.6. Celtic dominance reflected in shot volume and territory, even if the scoreline stayed modest. Which confirms what everyone watching already suspected. This wasn't a narrow win, it was a controlled one that just never quite turned into a rout. No drama. No panic. No magic of the cup moments. Just Celtic doing what was required, and moving on. And now, straight back to the transfer window. Because the football never stops, and neither does the rumour mill. Let's start with what official reporting and credible sources are saying. Interim boss Martin O'Neill has been very clear, Celtic need reinforcements this month, and he says it's absolutely essential that players come in before some of the big fixtures ahead. He insists the club are closer to securing additions, though he's been coy on specific links such as West Ham's Callum Wilson and believes Wilson is likely to move elsewhere. Speaking of Wilson, several outlets continue to discuss him as one of the names on Celtic's radar, though it's more exploratory contact and inquiring phase than concrete negotiations. But it doesn't stop there, the rumour mill is still churning. Mohamed Bamber, Lorient. According to the latest reports, Celtic have made a loan offer with an option to buy for the 24-year-old striker, whose season in League One has been mixed, with just 1 goal in 16 appearances. Jamie Lawrence, Celtic are monitoring the 6'7" Austrian defender, a former Bayern Munich academy player, as they look at defensive reinforcements amid injury issues elsewhere in the squad. Jejuran Raksarki, interest has been reported in the winger, who's currently on loan at Rizespor, though a potential loan deal with obligation to buy could be complicated. Tawanda Maswanhais, Motherwell reports suggest Celtic scouts have been watching him, but Motherwell's manager says no formal bids have arrived yet. So in summary, Celtic are still chasing signings. They are looking at both attacking and defensive possibilities, but so far Araujo is the only confirmed arrival and the striker spot remains the priority without a clear closure yet. And as always, if you're looking to watch Celtic wherever you are in the world, all the TV channels worldwide are listed over on CeltsOnTV.com. Cup progress secured. Scoreline modest. Job done. This is Celts on TV.